Okay, do it one more time. You do yours one more time. Okay, now that's more closer. And then I thought you were stepping out, but
I was at first. I wasn't really paying attention.
they both have a different use too. But really, Bruce's thing was like martial arts changed a lot, right? I mean,
Right.
But people used to stand lower and harder, like Gavin's saying, so it was real easy to lock them. And Bruce did step inside, but with a hard stance, it's real easy to lock them. Like you hear, he liked to lock the person's lower section, and it makes all the punches easier. But the more they stand like you are now, like here. Remember back in the day, everybody in the Kempo Karate, we stood like in liner and bow. Real easy to lock them up.
Yeah, the weight's really down.
Yeah.
So you approve more of this type of stance?
Well, you know, see, the guard was different. His guard was for that chit-tung punch, right? But later on, it looked like, and even when he was teaching us, like I say, he dropped the hand here, and then the way he punched opened up too. It wasn't all those chain punches anymore, right?
Okay, all right.
So, you know, and both things have a different use. Yeah, the center line punch is through the center of the body, so that's right, whatever style you're doing. But then those ones from out here, a lot of the time, well, Bruce, he liked to torque his whole body, right?
Yeah.
He torqued.
He's a smaller guy.
He's just pretty light. But a lot of times the ones from out here aren't this punch, they're this, because they're, and that's not part of Wing Chun. But those are two separate sets of straight punches. One's coming from the shoulder more, and one's coming through the center. They both have different uses. But we're doing the center one, so you go ahead. Yeah. He's doing an open hand. You can hit harder too. Okay, you can do that too. Okay.
And Roddy's new. He's basically been at this for a while. Relatively short.
Okay, I'm going to stand hard. Like
Okay, so
karate,
right back.
they used to stand real hard, so you're going to have to snap me a little bit with your palm. Yeah! Okay. That's it. But check this out. Now I'm going to stand different. Now you do again. You know, start screwing it up. The harder they are, like the karate and kung fu guys, then when you're doing this kind of stuff to them, it really gets to them because their body is stiff. But the more they're flexible, it's hard.
Kind of rolls off.
Yeah. And the more they are, and then the softer the upper body is, and it's difficult. I think we saw. I'll see if I can see how soft I can be. Okay.
I'm going to step in because I'm Okay, so you're here.
Okay, you want to do that?
So we're doing this. Straight up. So punch. Now for you, punch. Get up, palm, but right. So you want to basically come around here to get this.
So you're kind of leading. Hook too. See, when I was with Bruce, there were no hooks. Yeah, there was no hook or no uppercut. It was so close to Wing Chun. But I saw later, you know,
Then he added a lot of boxing.
Yeah, a lot. And then and I was going to tell you, then I read, you know, every time I go over there, like I say, he was reading boxing stuff. But then I read this one article, and they said that Jim DeMint up there somewhere north, he said Dempsey's book.
Right.
And I hadn't read that book. Man, then I saw where did you read that one? That's excellent.
I've read the Tao, which has a lot of the excerpts from it.
No, but to get Dempsey's book,
Okay.
you know, I did martial arts from when I was a little kid, but when I read Dempsey's book, I learned a lot, and I got some on what Bruce was doing too.
Okay, because I knew that he was like a really. Okay. All right, come with me. Really?
Okay, so you say you're doing.
So here, let me show you the footwork modifications.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm trying to get guys a little straight in for like a walk, right? The way I go is from tactical all the way from, this kind of, just guy stuff, all the way from dealing with top tactical, right, weapons, up to blade. So they basically have to be able to walk.
Okay, so that's your walking stuff. In other words, a real walk.
It's a real walk.
Slide.
Right. Well, no, that's still there, but there still has to be that step through. And part of the reason is, here's where I'm picking your brain. If I come through like this, boom, okay, now I'm to the inside.
Oh, sorry, we're trying to lower you.
Okay, all right, cool. No, let's see what we got. Boom. Okay, so what I did there, be a friend and make sure that this is. I don't get a guy like you every day. It's like usually I get being a sound clinic. People from different school who.
They all argue, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, smart.
All right, so from here, let's say I'm throwing my punch, I run into this lead, right? So now I'm already in position for this punch. So now this is where I'm going to get my trap. So I'm coming in one, and that's where I get it. So I'm going.
You know what? Okay, do that one. I thought it was one of Bruce's things.
Okay, so hit. Right now, yeah.
This, the bong, man.
Right,
That's
right.
You know, the bong. When you're stuck down, the bong is good.
And your hands are tied up.
Hit. And again, right now I'm just going for hit shots. We're not going to worry about that. But the idea, my question is, because I know you actually had some boxing. Was he primarily match leads back in this time? In other words, like we're matched. We're both.
Yeah, you always
we're
said
both,
nose to nose. And then I was thinking about stuff you might ask. And typically all the different styles, we work against how we train them. So a lot of times you're right to right. But you know, most people you're going to fight stand left foot forward
Right,
or
exactly.
square.
Right.
You know, and so
Okay. And you're a right or left?
I just stand like you. That's how we stand. People said right. Though I might have to go back to this. I have so much arthritis now here, but okay. See, boxing. What? This is what I was telling Sherman. Why? Because Dan had this whole boxing package.
Right.
I said, how come Bruce is here and then their pro boxing was here? How come? It's because leverage.
Right.
All sports, baseball, football,
Right. Exactly.
leverage is here. And some of the Southern Shaolin, like Wing Chun, they like all those small things, and they like to stand this way. And Bruce had done it so long, and that was his thing, and he could get some good shot off his lead hand and his lead foot. But for me, anyway, I don't have much of a left there anymore.
Okay.
You know, where here I had a pretty damn good left and a right. You know.
Yeah, because I'm a lefty, so I'm actually a natural southpaw, which AKB is like,
It worked good for you.
You know, it's sort of like, all right, so I have to kind of reverse everything.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'm curious, like, did you guys train at that time? Like, well, I call this a matched league, right? Meaning that, you know, that we're matched, this is unmatched, right? And
I think it was so many years, Kevin. It's like, I
I'm
think,
just
see,
sort of
he
curious.
taught us stuff for both. And both of them know when you did it, either with that side kick he liked or not. But say, if you were right to right or left to left, in my mind, because you're standing in a more advanced way than we used to stand. But if whatever it was, he liked to lock the damn leg here.
Okay.
And then,
Then go to work.
yeah, because it makes sense when we turn too, right?
Right, exactly.
You know,
Okay.
so
So here, punch, right? Now here's where my lock to get my step through,
I see.
right? And from here is where I'd go to my breakdowns. I'll borrow you and just have you step into that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be kind.
different. Yeah, good.
I'm going to be kind for the first.
My old man brain is
Okay, so from here,
you stepping forward
right. So now
to your right. and
I'm in
then
a
you're-
position. This kind of stuff.
Oh, that one. Yeah, see, Bruce, we didn't have that. We had some different ones, but we didn't have that.
Okay. So from here, again, same idea. Punch, and again, right? I'm already
Oh, I
here.
see, but sidestepping there.
Right, but that was off the second, but I still present the threat.
No, that's good.
Boom, notice that my knee is now
Yep.
positioned to go through the center.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
And the way you did it too, I like like that because the way most of the guys used to stand there was in those low hard stances, but you made it work with a more box stance, so that was good because you were locking it here, where if you were standing here, it's not the same lock as the way you were. That's good.
Okay, cool.
I like it a lot.
So it hit, right? And now obviously I'm in my position for a kick, right through it, right, or these kind of things. It's like what I've heard or seen is he like this kind of stuff. It stayed the lead, right? Like he would do a kick through, kick and trap, but not necessarily, or this one. Okay, punch. Okay.
Yeah, there's one similar, but they're like I said, there was no book. The ones I remember, and I used to use it all the time against the hard style guys, because the way they stood. But it started off lob. You could punch in, or you could punch kick.
Okay.
Or you could punch and then this.
Right.
Or and this part.
I'm more used to. I'm a dummy. That's my life.
Okay, so like you say, it might be from pond,
Right.
so, or it might be these.
Right.
And so here, after the hits, the way he did it wasn't like reverse swing. The way he did it was like, I want you to look back. There's a pitch.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He did it almost like a kick.
You can let me go down.
To the back.
I'm used to that. So.
Okay. It was almost like a kick to the leg. So he had several different ways off that lead, and it really worked against the karate guys because of their stance and the way their
like out
arms
here,
were
right?
hard.
Right, and they just
Oh
lock.
man, they totally screw him up. And then his lead a lot of times wasn't with the punch. He liked that forward side kick. So he'd either do it, he could do it with the side kick, trying to figure those guys, how do they always block?
Right.
Yeah,
Boom. Right.
yeah. Or lead here, they do that, and then, like you said,
Boom.
and with the practice, so you can't really do
Right.
here. So that was one, and those really worked on the karate and kung fu guys. But it did on the boxers, you stand softer, unless you did it like you did with us. I like the way you did that, actually. That was, because you worked against a more box stance, and then when you stepped, you locked in here.
Right.
Because I'm here, let's put forward.
Right, exactly.
I'm not really locked.
Right. Yeah. That's not that.
Yeah. That's good.
Sure. So does that make a little? So that makes more sense to me for like the box. Like for instance, if you gear like here, right? One of the reasons I try to have these guys a little more like this is if I punch. See, now this foot's already in position for this.
Yep.
Whereas if I'm here, right?
Because you're getting a side step.
Right, but from here I can already. I've still got my torque if I need it. Right? Boom. Because that's kind of what this is for.
Yeah.
But if I need it, right, I can still come through to that other side.
You know something that's interesting, Gavin? 'Cause I was thinking about what he had us doing, and really, in the form, he had one he made up, but also there was that Wing Chun form. But really, the kicks that Bruce had us doing were with the front leg there.
Okay.
And
More like this step down? Or
yeah, that one, that was one, or the side kick to the body, or whatever.
Okay.
But also, even his like the one you did, he always did it like something like from here, and he liked to make it and it works some, but you don't get the same juice out of it. He liked to do it from like a straight position and loop it. I overemphasize it. He looped it over so you couldn't see it coming.
Right. So
and it's not real powerful, but you can land it every damn time.
Right. And get the attention in.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. So it was more. They look more like savate kicks to me, which is cool.
Oh, you have some of those too. I can't do that.
You surprised me with what you just pulled out. It's interesting how you come on guard. I will say that. You come very focused very quickly, which is a good thing. Okay. So here's what I'm trying to get. See if we can get this today. Punch. Right. So now from this position, okay. Now that's where you've got your step arms. Or you can go straight through.
Oh,
doesn't really matter. The idea is 1, 2 step to get to wherever. Or like that time I went to the inside, punch, right? You know, instead of getting stuck, now I'm through.
I got a question for you. Okay, so the way you got to figure this was early on in what he was doing, but I live in East Bay. The ones we did were here, but and how are they teaching you for the hook?
A couple different ways.
Okay.
This.
Oh, they didn't teach us that.
Okay.
And I was in some street fight where I could have used this too.
Okay. So there's the other way is like simply this, or snapbacks, right? Or this one. This. But the idea is still you're either doing this, yeah, or the idea is so I'm closing to get to the inside of this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So because this obviously comes through fast.
That's hard.
And your best strategy, especially for newer guys, because I'm still.
You're really close.
Yeah, I'm gonna get tagged, but I've got my elbow.
No, you're inside
Right.
me enough. You're not. Yeah, I didn't train that way.
That's all right.
That's good though. I know. I was telling my son, and Master Chu too. He didn't teach me this block. I had here, I had here, but I wasn't training up on this.
Did they do this one? Did they do the box style of it? One more time? Did they teach you this one?
I kind of got the idea, but not familiar.
Okay.
I didn't train it for a while.
This one?
Yeah.
See,
that's awesome.
because now I'm to the inside.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not really trying to stop the punch. It's like your own arm is basically helping the shot.
Yep. Okay. Who
And
did you learn those from? Because we weren't doing this. I mean, your teacher came from Danny or from some of the guys that were Bruce, or did you figure it out?
My teacher is a guy named Frank Discussion, and he went to Danny back in the old school days, and he decided that what he ultimately was doing, he was not really JKD anymore, so he called it Mo Ming Do.
Oh,
So a lot of the stuff, this is why I'm asking
some
you.
transition in there. Yeah.
That
Well,
he
that's
did.
Bruce's idea. That's his whole
Right,
damn
exactly.
idea, man. You try to improve.
Right.
You know, those were all good. Because the pure Wing Chun could not stop the hook the way Bruce taught us, man.
Oh no, I discovered that really early in my days, because as soon as you put on boxing gloves, you stand like this.
Bam,
You you try and do it this way, which is right this way. You're gonna get hit every time. It's not gonna stop it.
We didn't even have that. We did time.
Oh wait, no, it's this one. Sorry, I'm doing this one. This one, yeah, that's that's
Jesus.
that's not gonna do it.
I got some.
I learned that one the hard way.
I got some parts on that. I was thinking, I got something that might interest you on that, and I got it from a lot of sources, but one of them was Dempsey's book, but I had a guy work for me in '77 and '79. He trained under somebody named Paul Pender, who was undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Okay, so check. Did you bring any? Let me see if I got. This is. I swear to God, this is. And there's a bunch of. This is the first section of it. Let's see if I.
I'm gonna put you to work for a bit because I don't want you to stand here. Okay.
But even have.
So here. Huh? Oh yeah, I brought my mitts. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So.
You're leading straight here.
Right.
You're just having to do his parries.
Right. Like this is basically just you throw your. These are your distance games.
He's already crossed right now, though. That's one of Bruce's things.
Right. Oh yeah. So like from this position, I'm his hard go. Right. Because as soon as I step in.
Yeah. You got your hands crossed. You don't want that.
Yeah. So you don't. So when you come in, throw a punch. Right. Punch. Right. Try this. Boom. Boom. Right. Boom. Right. Boom. Yeah. For you, yeah. Boom. Boom. And eventually, if you come in with that hook that we were just talking about, because it's going to be really important for you. Okay. So you're going to need to get in here. Notice where I'm driving at, right? Into the...
Boy, does that look like Dotson.
Yeah, into the collarbone right there, right?
Oh, I see.
That's where you want to go. And you can kind of see from this position, you're right here.
Yeah.
Cheers, boom, boom, boom. Right. Cause, well, Roddy's my teacher size. So, like all the stuff that he used to do, because he was a smaller guy, and we had guys up to like 6.5 feet that he had to fight. So there was just no way he could come in open because he would just get clocked. Because he'd have to go through his third hit, and he's still working his way up his arm. Seriously, I mean, like when Brian comes by, man, that guy's like, I mean, there's no way you or I can get close to that guy.
Yeah.
You have to go for his arm first. I mean, he's like 6'4", I believe, 6'4", 6'5", and lifelong karate guy. He's like, he's like 51 to my 52. So we're just like, yeah.
Bruce had to bring out those arms.
It makes a difference. So what I'm trying to get from these guys is this, right?
You like to step.
There's a very simple reason. I mean, they can always shuffle, right? Right. But for self-defense, what I really want is more of a shuffle, right? Because from this position, or here, wherever you go, or this, you're going to continue through. Right. And it's going to be a takedown. So what I'm trying to get these guys are like 1, 2, right, to really come in with a threatening punch, right, and then the formal is 1, 2, 3, 4, right. So you're starting over. So shuffle step, right?
Shuffle step.
Home, right, and then step through. That's it. Now to make it a little more formal, shuffle to ride, and then there's your adjust. So it's sort of like shuffle, step, done. If you need it. Right, because let's say if, like this could be the kick right here, right? Kick, shuffle, boom. Because like what happens up top here, especially for guys, boom, right, is a lot of up here, as soon as you get into this kind of wrestling match, boom, it's not necessarily to your advantage, so you can do whatever up here, but really where you want to start working are these knees.
Bruce is supposed to be really good.
So this is the one, actually, since you brought that up, this is the one authentic drill that I actually know. I mean, you can tell me if it's authentic or not.
Kind of what era, probably. He had all kind of drills.
Well, this I got from, I like this guy. I got this from Jesse Glover.
The straight glass?
Yep, so it's basically just this. Yeah, we're just gonna, we're not gonna, we'll just do, no, we're gonna do old school. This is what I've been working on in this game to match this. So basically, all I'm doing is,
Boy, that's Bruce Lee, all right. Except he always shuffled.
follow the shuffle?
Yeah.
Alright. So the authentic would be this, right?
Yeah. That's Wing Chun pure, right there. Everybody I know who does Wing Chun does that. They do that line punch, and then they always, like you and I, do it a little wider. They all do it one on top of the other, one on top of the other. And that's in American boxing too, but how come you hardly ever see it?
So it? So it?
The way you did it, you see it.
Okay. And this way. Boom. Yeah? Did you guys do that?
We didn't, you know, we had this in Broadway, and then Jimmy's place was just in a small garage. There wasn't a whole lot of side stuff going on.
Fair enough. Okay, and then the other one. You're up. I want to see you do. Do what you can.
Let's see if I can. Shoulders pretty
Go
sweet.
this one?
Like having fun. All right. Which way are you comfortable? All right, see, I got a bad shoulder.
Yeah. So if it's bothering, just go really light. That's for you. Try to do more like this. Right. Again. But just go light. But for you, take your shoulders out of it.
Yeah, that's what I want to work on now. I was thinking of that. That's why I think for me this right knee too is good.
So just tap back. I'm gonna stop you right there. Come on back. We're gonna work on
Arch
looseness.
shuffle. Yeah, arch shuffle.
Right. So like this. Push my elbows. Boom. Right. They're not going anywhere.
Elbows tighter, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm too wide by your routine?
Yeah. You're working. You got your shoulder, elbow up. One more time. Good left.
I used to be able to get tighter, but I think like that. I got so much arthritis, this doesn't go in too good anymore. There's more like this here.
Okay, can you just put your
I can't. But I have to
hang
really
with
force
your
it.
arms out like this. Arms up. That's it.
There? I could do that.
All right. So from there, right? That's it. Now leave them in this position. I'll hold for you. But now just this.
You're
Punch.
saying
Just
keep it
him.
in-
Boom. Right? Because now you're not really stressing your right. But find this range.
You're really close.
Oh yeah.
That's
Let me see what you got. But again, just do it slowly. Don't even worry about power, right? It's not a
Okay.
This is like now. That's
Somehow
the way
that-
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm put two. That one was worse for me on the shoulder joint than the other way for some reason.
Well, it's because it's like because you're using your arms and your shoulder. What I'm trying to do is get you to take them out. Again, feel one more time. Actually, just do it. Maybe let's break it down even more. Lock this arm like this. Right now, my arm's in a cast. Right. Boom.
You're stepping over here.
Yeah.
So,
Just close them in. Just try that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do.
So this way, you're not really using your shoulder.
Both. My idea was so hard for so many years, and we're used to a lot of this. So that's one way I sweep myself up to that. Adjustment.
Does that make a little more sense?
Yeah, I
Again,
see.
So just go for the snap. Because I mean, you can always add this back in later, right?
Super clean. That's you just
Just one at a time. Let's just try one. Let's get that snap. Right? Barring. Just step in just with the snap. That's all. Boom. There, see? So all he's doing is moving his body. And his wrist is doing it. Alright? Feel that. Good.
that was easy. Yeah.
Alright?
Just a little job.
Alright? And that's from a really close range.
That's lead one, and they have good juice on it. The second one is.
Yeah, we're not worried about that yet.
Yeah. The front one has the. Because you got your lotion. I'll move back one for you on the second one. Okay.
Ah. So ready for you to clean your up a little bit? You feel like this, right? The second one is the
Oh,
drop.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Boom.
good.
Alright, boom. And notice how behind it is, right? Boom. Boom. And see, that's, and again, I'm not driving that with my shoulder or my arm. That's my hip. Right. First is body weight. Next is hip. Right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Show me.
I know that's very good.
A lot of
That's
stuff.
very
A lot. It just takes time to, get that back.
good. Oh, my idea was different. See, when we trained with the back leg, Bruce kind of had some of that. I was thinking about that too. Because the karate and the kung fu, we spend so much time on bow and rider and that, so you're all the time driving from it instead of this thing. You know?
Let's try and keep this one. So for both of you, actually, yeah, you can keep one. More like this, right? So the shuffle step
Yeah.
is just to fix you there, right? But notice where my arm's going, right? I'm keeping it to my body. I don't want to release it for this punch. Watch this. It's like, I do this, yeah, sure, I can do all that. But for here, boom, bam. That wrist has got to be there. So that's all wrist now. So, later you can put all that stuff back in there. So from here, boom, okay? Now watch, this whole body drops. Boom. Boom. Okay, very short distance. And again, I'm not gonna hit you, so relax a bit. This is where I'm standing for really.
And fight.
Most guys who are big cannot fight in that way. They just can't. So I'm basically already inside them at a point where I can go to work. Hard up. Boom. From here, boom. And what that is what I'm trying to get you guys to do, short drop. Right? But it's just much more compact. Boom. Sorry.
It's okay. No problem. I see the body function. So.
Boom. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But so break the punches out so you can just do them one at a time. Do them like this. Boom. Step, right? Okay, my hip still hasn't come in yet. Boom. In. It's that pivot, right? This is why I kind of want this foot forward. See, if I'm back here, I can't get that hip around as effectively as if I can, because now I can push into it as I snap. See what I'm saying? So I kind of
I
like
see what you're doing, but I'm not pulling something.
I'm feeling like a sprinter coming out of the block.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because if you're a sprinter,
So you're saying your alignment is straighter than
yeah, I don't like this.
yeah.
There are times there are places for this, right? Because you can always move your body like that if you want, but you're letting the guy know what you're going to come out with.
I see what you're doing. It's pretty hard to change.
No, but it's time. It's just anything. Try a few punches and let's see where we go.
Maybe slower on the second round.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually, there. Make more of a pause. There.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, right? On the second one. This one? Boom. Right. Drop it. Let your whole body system fall into
Just sink.
Just sink. Right? Right. From here, right? You're kind of just coming straight through here. And you'll try dropping. Boom. Right? Boom. This is boom. Now my whole body's there. Boom. Boom. So I'm kind of driving, and this heel comes up. Right? And this is why, boom. And see, now I'm in position for my next step. So that's really what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah.
So when your initial standing, you're standing flat-footed there, so that when you do this, you're getting more.
Well, I'm exaggerating. I mean, I don't really have any weight on my heel. Right?
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, I mean, if we were talking ballroom, there's this is like heel toe. This is toe flat. So it's more toe flat than toe heel. All it means is all it means is the weight is on the ball of my foot.
Okay.
But my
Oh,
heel
I
is.
see. It appears in your flat that it's more.
But the weight of my foot, right, it's all ready to go.
That's different than Bruce, as far as I understood it. And Deshaun. But
Okay.
that makes sense.
All right, off you. There you go. Try and drive that into the floor. Yeah. It's like you want to almost lose your balance. There you go.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know there was a thing before. And then all of these were like,
Good. Okay, good. Switch it over.
So, on your first one, is this the first one when you're leading and you're trying to just here? That's because you're trying to teach us body mechanics, or
Oh, yeah.
this is how you? I just
Yeah, and the answer is yes. And it's always for now. So when you're stepping forward, right, this is still the step. And the step aside that you're familiar with, the only difference is at the end of it, we're going to
Yeah.
here.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to change after